Hi, kindergarten. My name is Mrs. Tate, and I'm so excited to be here to do a math lesson with you today. I'm going to start by sharing my screen, and we are going to prepare a few materials before we get started. So, we are going to be talking today about comparing and ordering sets, and we're really going to talk about what that means when we get started. But before we begin, can you please take 5 minutes to find the following items somewhere around you? First, you need something that you can count. You need 20 of something that you can count. For example, you might find 20 pieces of cereal or 20 pennies. Maybe you want 20 pieces of pasta or 20 pieces of rice. Maybe you can find 20 crayons or 20 blocks. Those are examples, but you can find 20 of anything that you can count because we're going to be using that today when we're learning about math. Also, if you could grab a piece of paper and a pencil, and I'm going to go ahead and set a timer for 5 minutes. And when the music is done, please have these items so that we can get started. Okay, hopefully you guys were able to get all of your materials in the 5 minutes and you're ready to do some counting. So today we are going to be thinking about how we can create our own sets that are more, fewer, or the same as an original set. And we're going to start by reading a book called 10 Little Hot Dogs. And this book is read with permission from Scholastic. All right, here we go. 10 Little Hot Dogs. And 10 Little Hot Dogs is written and illustrated by John Himmelman. One little hot dog sitting on a chair. I want a friend to sit with me. Two little hot dogs sitting on a chair. The dogs are saying, bow wow, bow wow. There's more room on the pillow. Three little dogs sitting on a chair. We want a bone to chew. Drool, drool, drool. Four little dogs wagging on a chair. Let's play catch. Yip, yip, yip. Five little dogs playing on a chair. We want a sock to tug. Ruff, 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 ruff. Six little dogs bouncing on a chair. How about a shoe? Arf, 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 arf. I want you to think for a minute. What's happening every time we get to a new page? More dogs are coming. It is really important to know that when we are getting more of something, we're adding on. We're getting a bigger number. So since one more dog came onto the chair, now we have 7 little dogs tumbling on a chair. Do you think we're going to have more dogs come? Now we need a hat. Woof, 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 woof. 8 little hot dogs jumping on a chair. That's a lot more dogs than when we first started the book, when we only had one dog. Don't forget the blanket. Yap, 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 yap. 9 little dogs scattered on a chair. We need one more dog for the dog pile. Phew, we're tired. Yup, 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 yup. 10 little hot dogs, all fast asleep. Shh. Snore, snore, snore. What do you think is going to happen now? Uh-oh. They're still snoring. 9 little hot dogs still fast asleep. Shh. What happened to one of the dogs? Do you see him there jumping down? 8 little dogs still fast asleep. Shh. Sigh, 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 sigh. And there we see the dog coming down. 7 little dogs still fast asleep. Snooze, snooze, snooze. Now what's happening to the numbers? Now when we turn the page, the numbers are going down. There are fewer dogs on the chair. Fewer means less than or a smaller number than before. So there were 8, but now there's 7, and 7 is fewer than 8. Let's see what else happens. 6 little hot dogs still fast asleep. Shh. Cuddle, cuddle, cuddle. 5 little hot dogs still fast asleep. Shh. Nuzzle, 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 nuzzle. 4 little hot dogs still fast asleep. Shh. Twitch, 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 twitch. Do you think they're all going to wake up? 3 little hot dogs still fast asleep. Snuffle, snuffle, snuffle. 2 little hot dogs still fast asleep. Shh. Snort, snort. 1 little hot dog still fast asleep. Shh. Do you predict that they are going to wake the last dog up? 1. 1 little hot dog wide awake. Hey, you little hot dogs, wake up and play. What a good story that helps us think about what happens when we have more dogs coming on the chair and then fewer dogs as the dogs wake up and get off the chair. And that's going to help us think about our work today. We're going to be thinking about dogs and more and fewer. And we're also going to be thinking about the same. So look at these dogs here. There is a group of dogs here, and we are going to create some sets using our math tool that you guys have in front of you to count, to create a new set that is more dogs, fewer dogs, and the same dogs. All right. Let's start by creating a set that is more. So I want you to use your math tool and take about 15 seconds and create a set that is more than the number of dogs you see in this picture. Okay, so when I looked at this set, I thought about more with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, because there are 4 dogs here and 5 is more than 4. Next, we're going to think about a set that's fewer. And for me, when I thought about a set that was fewer, I knew that 1 was fewer or less than 4. So I could just put 1 there. What does it mean to be the same? To be the same means that there's the same number as in both of the sets. So here with my dogs, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 dogs. So my set that I created had 1, 2, 3, 4 circles. And that's how we're going to do this. You're going to do the next ones on your own. Oh, wow. Look at this set of dogs. I'm going to give you a couple seconds to look at that set of dogs. Okay. Can you create a set using your math tool that has more objects than the number of dogs that are here? How many did you put in your set? If I look at these dogs and I see that there are 9 of them, maybe your set had 10. Maybe your set had 11. Maybe your set had 20 because you knew that that was definitely going to be more. How about fewer? Can you create a set that has fewer objects than how many dogs there are here? Remember, fewer means less. Maybe you only put 1 object down because you knew that would be fewer. Maybe you didn't put any because 0 is also fewer. Or maybe you made it really close to this amount and you put 8 objects because 8 is still fewer than 9. How about the same? Can you take a minute to make your set of objects the same as the number of dogs that are on your screen? How many objects did you put? 9, because 9 of your objects would be the same number as 9 dogs. Let's do another one. Look at these cute puppies. I need to move my screen down to put in here for a minute. Look at these dogs. I want you to think about creating a set using your objects that has more than the number of puppies you see. How many objects are in your set? How did you know that that was more? Can you create a set that has fewer objects than the number of puppies in this picture? How many objects are in your set? How did you know that that was fewer? Now, can you create a set that is the same as the number of dogs in this picture? How did you know it was the same? Awesome work. Let's go to the very last one. Can you create a set that is more than the number of dogs in the picture? These dogs are all cute. They're tilting their heads different ways. How do you know your set has more? Can you create a set that has fewer a number of objects than dogs in the picture? How do you know that your set has fewer? Can you create a set that's the same as the number of dogs in this picture? How do you know that your set is the same as the picture of the dogs? Wow. What we're going to do now is we're going to think a little bit about how we knew. So you can talk about this or you can write it down with your paper and pencil. But you had to make some very important decisions when you were deciding about how to make more or less or the same. So we're going to start by first thinking about how you decided to make more of a set. So I'm going to give you a couple minutes and I want you to use this very first sentence frame. I made more by blank. What did you do to figure out more for all of those? I made more by either say it out loud or write it down. Okay. How about how you decided to make less? It may have been a different way that you thought about less. So either say it out loud or writing it down. I made less by, I wonder if anyone wrote there that they just always put one down because one was always less than the set of dogs. That would have been a cool strategy. Last one. I want you to say it out loud or write down. How did you decide how to make the same? I made the same by. So this is a really important idea, guys. We can create a new set that's related to an original set. So we used our tools and created a new set that was related to the picture of the dogs by thinking about more, fewer, or the same. They were related to each other. So now I have a challenge for you, and I'm going to give you a second to write it down before I get off of here. You're going to create your very own hot dog story like the story we read if you want to. You can draw a picture of a chair. I put a picture of a chair in here. And you can use your math tool that you use to count to show how many different ways that 6 puppies, 6 hot dogs, can be on the floor and on the chair. There's a lot of different ways those dogs can be jumping up and down. And when you're doing that, when you're playing around with it, think about when are there more on the floor? And is it possible to have the same amount on the floor and on the chair? There are so many ways that you can have fun and be creative with this. So I hope you have fun thinking about your very own story and your own hot dogs. I'm going to give you a couple minutes to get some of this written down so that you can continue it if you'd like. Okay, guys, thank you so much for doing math with me today. I enjoyed it so much, and I'll see you next time.